Welcome. This is Melinda Barlow, CZT, Certified SinDoo Tangle Teacher. And today's lesson is SinDoo by Sharon Robinson. And SinDoo is a very versatile tangle. I did SinDoo here on a grid, and I did SinDoo here on a gray tile, freehand. And yeah, it's beautiful, just striking tangle. We're going to do the grid method today. And I've been kind of in a slump lately about videoing, and so I haven't videoed for a little while. Sometimes that happens, and even though I teach every week, I just gotten a little. But SinDoo by Sharon Robinson, you're going to love it. So we're going to start out, and we're just going to make a grid. And I'm just going to do a couple lines across my tile. I'll put one down the center, and then we're just going to grid it off. And these grids, these squares are fairly large. I would say that they're close to a 1-inch size. And I'm sure that you can do it smaller, but we're going to start out with a larger grid. So here we have our grid. Now we're going to put in the center of that grid, when you noticed I did it with a pen, not a pencil. We're going to put, I call them kind of like cat's eyes. It's kind of a pointy shape. So we're rounded, then come to that point. And you want it fairly big. And I do these first that join together because we want this in the grid so that every time we make one of these petals, there's a petal off of it. So I would do another petal here, and they join. And I'm going to come down here to this end, and this would be a petal, and this would be one. You can see I didn't do a string or a border. I had someone ask about that. Why do I always put a string and border? We had kind of done that from SinDooTangle.com, kind of had that the step outs. But you don't need to. You can go all the way to the edge of your paper if you'd like. So now we have these cat eye or rounded areas. Now we're going to make a stroke up through the center. And I'm just doing, do you see how I started at this point, went up and over and back up? I'm going to do it again. Start at the bottom, kind of go up the side, over, and then back in. You want a big lazy S. You could do it from the top, but I find it much easier to do it from the bottom. And we're going to do that in all of these places. So we just give it that lazy S shape. So I've done that in all of those sections. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to echo that shape. That's the easiest for me, is if I think of echoing that shape. And it's kind of putting another little leaf shape. But if I just echo that shape, and from the center I'm going to come, and they're going to be different sizes. But that echoing that shape inside of there. And we have down here at the bottom And now we have those all echoed. And I like to come right back now and fill in. Sometimes if I do a lot of fill in, instead of using my 01, I'll use my 05, and that will make things go just a little faster. I can see some little white marks, but that's okay. Making sure I change back to my 01 pen, and now I am going to round off this corner and fill it in. So round off that on that square we have. I'm rounding that off and filling in. So here I'll round off and then fill this in. And this just is a beautiful tangle with lots of, it could be done small, and grid tangles are not always my favorite, but oh my goodness, I love this one. And I love the way that it can be shaded. We're going to shade because that's, just the next best thing is shading. So I'm going to shade this. Here's the one I did earlier with a little shading. You can see the difference in where you blacken in and where you don't. And it is, let's see if we can zoom out a little. It's not letting me zoom out. But there we have SinDoo. And I'm just going to show you how I did it on this little gray tile as a freehand. Might make this tutorial just a little longer than normal, but I am going to get out a gray tile, and you can get these on my at inkadoodles.com. You can get the gray tiles. So here we have our gray tile, and I'm just going, no dots or borders, we're just going to draw an X. And we could, if we could maybe grid it in, but this is free-handed. So now I'm going to draw, think of this as my square, and I'm going to draw my cat's eye shape. In this little grid. There I have those cat's eye. They're not even. And now we're going to draw the line up the center. So I do my little curvy line up the center, which kind of divides that in half. Okay, now I'm going to come back and I'm going to echo that shape with another leaf inside. Echo that shape. Turn my tile. Echo. Want it to be in that fat side. I almost I almost went right here and tried to do it, but we want to echo that larger side. And there we have it echoed on all those sides. Now, what do we do with these little things? I capped them off, like rounded the corners. And then put a little, I had a little ball on the top of that. A little ball on the top. Now we could go back in here and fill in or you could come in and you could do like little stripes in there. But you can come in and do a lot with that one. When I was doing mine, I could come back and just make another little freehand, because I love the look of those little, they have a little organic look to them. And put another little top on. And this one's on a little bit darker tile, a little bit darker gray, but you can see how fun that this little SinDoo can be. I hope you enjoy making SinDoo in grid or freehand. And thanks for watching. You can get Tangle supplies on my website at inkadoodles.com. And thanks for watching and have a great day.